Nice to see everyone. Love doing that. You just start calling out people's names and businesses, and all of a sudden they start. It's way too much. I never shushed the crowd and went like, oh. Welcome, everyone. I see you got your coffees up at the Edison. Shout out to Brooklyn back there. Good morning, coffees to Brooklyn. Shout out to all of our friends on Zoom this morning. You can see them down there on the screen. Hello, Zoom friends. Welcome to ChamberAM. Happy to have you all here today. It is a beautiful day. Just finished an interview with Alicia Doris in the elevator, so watch for that coming out on our social channels in a bit. But now let's get to our speaker, Alicia Doris, founder, solopreneur, living local marketplace, both online and a storefront. Alicia shares the work of artisans and small businesses in the coordinates and across the province. She makes the most beautiful, locally packed gift boxes. They're her specialty. You can have custom boxes made. You can just shop the store. Check out their website. Alicia Doris, we are grateful to have you here today. I thought it was really neat that in your previous life, you were a journalist. You worked in as a corporate communicator, sharing stories, and now we get to hear your story. Big warm welcome, Alicia Doris. Put your hands together. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a lovely introduction. I have notes. Yes. Yes. Let's get better how we stand. Yes.
Don't we move this couch?
Oh, yeah.
You can do that too.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. Though I must admit, I wondered what can I offer you? I'm so new to this, and I'm always looking to others for advice and insight. What can I possibly share with you today? What would be valuable to you? In walking and talking with a friend of mine this weekend, kindergarten teacher who's learning here, I realized the significance of the question, what can I offer? Yes, this question, it applies to this talk today, but it also applies to entrepreneurship. In fact, every single day, I ask myself, what can I offer? What can I bring to the table? Now, there are varying degrees to this question. Some days it's like, what can I offer the world to make it a better place? Other days it's like, what can I offer my followers on Instagram? Either way, it's a mindset. And I believe that it's one that's leading me in my journey, the journey called Career 2.0. So like hundreds of thousands of other Canadians and individuals around the world, I lost my job early on in the pandemic. I worked as a communications professional for 20 years, and I found myself unemployed. Wait, a healthcare communicator, 10 years in at the hospital, unemployed at the beginning of a pandemic. And it wasn't the time to step out to try to find another job. My son was 8 years old and not in a position to be doing online school at home on his own. And my husband is also an entrepreneur. He was very busy and working very long days. I'm pretty sure that is when I started to ask myself the question, what can I offer? Long walks and very long days, trying to figure out my certainty in a world that was full of uncertainty. It was uncomfortable, if I'm honest. It was really uncomfortable. There was not a lot that I could do about it. Remember those days? There was not a lot I could do. I was very used to being able to fix a situation, and this one I couldn't fix easily. But at the same time, I saw subscription boxes featuring local products popping up in communities across Canada and into the United States. And I thought, why doesn't Peterborough have one? This area has so much to offer. With the support of my longtime friend and Sweet Reads Box founder and CEO, Carrie Hansler, I started Living Local. It was, in its first iteration, a surprise seasonal subscription box that shared the work of artists and businesses in the Kawarthas. I had a logo designed, learned how to use Shopify, and just in time for Mother's Day 2020, launched my first offering, the spring box. I sold 50 within a couple of days, and then increased the numbers for the summer box and the fall box following that. This was a passion project. This was something that I chose to do to stay connected to the community in the interim. I donated $5 from the sale of every box to a local nonprofit organization. What was inside the box? Well, just to give you a sense. So the first one, it featured a pottery bowl from Neighbor's Pottery in Bethany, handmade granola from Hard Winter Bakery, strawberry jam from McLean's Berry Farm, beeswax wraps from Swift Acres Apiary in Apsley, chocolate caramel truffles from Black Honey, and an art card by Megan Ward. This assortment of goods would set the stage for future boxes and for what would become a storefront 1.5 years later. The spring box was very well received, and soon the phone started ringing. I will remember these clients for the rest of my life. I can remember exactly where I was when I received every single one of these calls. My mother is turning 80 and I want something super special for her. My daughter lives in the States and my son lives out west, and we want to cook together, but we can't be together. So let's package up some local goods. We're going to cook together by Zoom. These boxes are going to bring us together. My staff members are working remotely, and I need to thank them. They're juggling a lot. Can we do some corporate gift boxes? The answer is, of course, yes, 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 we can. These clients, the ones that helped me to see my passion project as a potential business, are still my most loyal clients today. And I can't thank them enough. So I saw this pattern shaping up, and it turned out I was offering something that was appreciated. There was some real momentum. And I thought, this is making me happy. And it's making other people happy too. The makers and those buying the gifts. It was such a positive endeavor. So I committed. I got accepted to the Starter Company Plus program in the fall of 2020. And as part of that program, sneaky, you must commit 35 hours a week to your business. So I was there. I was all in. This was no longer a passion project. This was Career 2.0 taking shape. So over the next 6 weeks, I worked with the folks from Peterborough and Kawarthas Economic Development and other local experts to shape up a business plan. I launched the Build-A-Box shop, so an online presence for my business where there were 25 products from makers in the Kawarthas. You could pop online and you could build your own box. And then we moved into the holiday season. And in fact, the rest is history. We weren't shopping in retail stores the way that we normally would. And we weren't seeing our friends and family the way that we normally would. And so I found myself delivering boxes, shipping boxes, coast to coast at a rate of about 100 a week. And my garage space at home was getting fuller and fuller and fuller. Soon I had outgrown my home base. And if I'm honest, I'd always wanted a shop of my own, ever since I was 6 years old. But it never made any sense until this moment in time. And so I found a space at 1179 Chemung Road, and it allowed me to have space to not only pack my boxes, but also to eventually, down the road, open a store. Well, eventually down the road came sooner than I expected because I had the space and I had the inventory. And around the same time, I expanded my scope to include makers and small businesses from across the province. I was meeting makers from Durham region and from Northumberland, and I was saying, I can't work with you, you're not from the Kawarthas. And that didn't seem quite right. So fast forward, that was about a year ago. So last week I celebrated my first anniversary on Chemung Road, and I finally held an official opening and a ribbon cutting ceremony for an expansion that I did a couple of months ago that focuses on gourmet goods made right here at home. I wrote some remarks for the day, and I'd like to share them with you because I think they will tell you a little more about how I feel about the community that's being created around this small business. And I'm sorry for those of you not here. In attendance were makers, supporters, and community leaders. I didn't have an official opening 1 year ago. I had planned on it, but I was knee-deep in learning how to run a store. And while gatherings weren't really recommended. Fast forward a year, I'm still knee-deep in learning how to run a store, but together we've come a long way. Makers, it's timing. Some of us have been working together since the spring of 2020, when Living Local was a passion project, a seasonal subscription box that shared the work of artisans and businesses in Peterborough and the Kawarthas. Things have evolved since then, though I did just share our third fall box. I thank you for joining me on this journey and for being all in, whether I'm ordering 6 of one of your products or several hundred at a time. Meanwhile, some of us have just started working together. Either way, it is an honor to be able to share your work. Please know that you are among the more than 150 makers that are the backbone of this business. It is your work that makes people come through the door. And it is your stories, the stories of you and your family that motivate me, the stories that I have the privilege of sharing every day. Supporters, thank you for continuing to lead me in this journey. Your interest in living and loving local is strong. And when I see a spark from you, it's an opportunity to try something new. Turn back time a couple of years, you started inquiring about gift boxes for your friends and family. So I established an inventory in my home office. 6 bars of soap, 6 candles, 6 jars of jam. Then you became interested in corporate gift boxes. You wanted to send them to your colleagues who were working remotely or to your clients to express your gratitude. And so we added them to our suite of offerings. Today, I'm working on my first ever corporate gifting catalog. And then about 6 months ago, I noticed that your mouth was watering for Made in Ontario offerings and your taste buds were tantalized. You were gifting gourmet goods more than anything else. But you were also finding your favorites in the store and coming back for more. A couple of months ago, we expanded and turned our packing space into a destination for fine food made right here at home. Thank you for your loyalty and for your appetite to see this small business grow. Alongside the makers I'm proud to support, I thank you. And then I address community leaders. Thank you for being here today, for recognizing the role that entrepreneurship and small business play in our communities. Peterborough and the Kawarthas Economic Development and the Chamber have been with me since the beginning. This gives you a sense of my story and my experiences in entrepreneurship thus far. And I hope that you take from it what you need. But this pandemic pivot, this career 2.0 has been life-changing for me. Salary and title, not so much, but entrepreneurship has been so empowering. I've realized that I can offer something that no one else can. Something that is 100% me and my family. And it's an articulation of my values and what I believe in and what I stand for in every way. So, what can I offer you today? Here's what I've come up with. A few things I've learned along the way. Sometimes things take time to unfold and to present themselves to you. Now, I'm not saying it's a passive exercise, but sometimes it takes time and a different kind of attention for things to take shape. Like I did in Career 1.0, I couldn't work living local into existence. That's not to say that there wasn't a lot of hard work involved, but it had to unfold in bits and pieces over time. And it's not over, nor will it ever be, as I continue to take cues from my customers, my product partners, and the world around. And I will try to do my very best to evolve with my environment. Here's the second thing. As entrepreneurs, we have the incredible privilege of living and breathing our own values. Our own values. I don't do anything that isn't in keeping with what I believe. And I will always endeavor to stay true to who I am. I am my brand, and my brand is my business. And it's true, there's a lot of competition out there. And what you offer, it can be replicated. But why you offer it and how you offer it cannot. Lastly, I see every day as an experiment. I never assume I have anything figured out. And that allows me to be nimble and to make mistakes. There's no pilot project here, no advisory board, no committee to help me make decisions. So I embrace opportunities to learn, and there are so many of them. I do my very best to stay in touch with what's going on around me, and I will keep trying to answer the question, what can I offer? Very kind.
I'll ask the question. If anyone else wants to ask the question too, feel free. Favorite product right now? Can you give us your top two?
Oh my goodness gracious. That is so hard. So Suzanne's Hot Stuff in Millbrook, she's also a graduate of the Starter Company Plus program. She was last fall, so a year later than I was, and her products are amazing. It was in fact her products that made me start noticing this trend of people finding their favorites and coming back for more. And it was her marinade, and it was her salsa, but most of all was her candied jalapenos. There you go. Number one product, yes, and I don't have a lot of tolerance for hot stuff, but they are delicious.
No.
People buy 3 at a time.
That would be neat. Find those people. Any other questions? Yeah.
So I have things that I see in the community and I love. What if I wanted to see them in say your shops, or one-stop local shopping? How do you get in touch with those that are interested? Somebody wants to refer a product to you, or can you tell us how that would work?
For sure. It happens all sorts of ways and very organically, and some products are fit and some products aren't. But having a conversation with a local maker is always worthwhile. So I spend a lot of time scouting on Instagram and reaching out to people on Instagram. back in the pandemic, zooming in on pictures when we couldn't necessarily get out of the house to actually shop. I saw something on the table in that photo of a market from 2 years ago, and I'd like to learn more about it. But sometimes products are a fit for the shop. Sometimes they're a fit for the seasonal subscription box. But I'm always game and eager to work with new makers in some capacity.
And when can we expect to see that in corporate catalog?
Yes. For sure. I gotta get back to my desk.
Okay.
Yeah. Within the next 2 weeks. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Delia, Jigsaw. So kind of trying to question, are there specific things that you're keeping an eye out for right now that we should be keeping an eye out for? Like products that you could add to your inventory?
Oh, goodness. So I always try to source hyper locally first. So if there are products that I can get in Peterborough and the Coordinates, I do. And then I move out to the rest of the province from there. Gourmet goods, as I say, are always interesting to me. In fact, I've just added to the shop carrot bacon. Yes, carrot bacon, and Tyler is a product of the innovation cluster, made right here in Peterborough. So, you know what? It's about the products, but it's also about the makers and their stories. And this sort of leads me back to my time as a journalist. If I'm compelled by a story and I find that it's something that my customers might appreciate and that I can share readily in the shop, then that's what gets me really excited.
I was just hoping you could give us some insight on your holiday goods.
Holiday goods. My goodness. Yeah, it was interesting last year. So I just opened up, but November 1st, I started having customers in the shop that wanted Christmas items. So I have some decor items coming in, some hand painted products, some wooden products, some really cool signs. I have, of course, Christmas candles, lots and lots and lots of Christmas candles. I just built a new candle wall at the shop. So right when you walk in, I have candles from 6 or 7 different makers and lots to choose from there. Lots of chocolate goodies, for sure. What else? This isn't specifically for Christmas, but I've just happened upon a new clothing line, and it's run by 2 women just outside of Ottawa, and everything right down to the thread and the hang tags on their clothing is made in Ontario. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be launching a few pieces, dipping a toe in, and to see if there's an appetite for these types of offerings.
Thank you. Sorry, Lindsay.
I have no questions or comment. As one of your makers, I can honestly say that my business has grown because your business has grown. That has absolutely over the last 2 years happened for me, and the customer comments I get at the shop in the store are really beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, what do you make? What do you say? Oh, I love your candles. So welcome.
Thank you. Well, Lindsay and I worked together for that second subscription box in summer 2020, and we were both just getting started. Yes, for sure.
Wow, what a beautiful story. Did I see you in the candle? I've got just so much.
So we've heard a lot of great goodies that would be maybe enjoyed by adults. But you have like a section or offering for kids.
I do actually. I do have a baby section. It's one of my favorite spots in the store. And so bath and body for babies, as well as blankets, booties, some made in Ontario clothing, and some little wooden toys, some handmade puppets. I do. Yeah, some Play-Doh, non-toxic Play-Doh made in Toronto, some fun stuff.
All the dog owners in here, I feel like it would be a disservice if I didn't ask, but.
Yes, I do have pet things. Yes, I have some tartan blankets and they have a bit of an interesting story. They're made by a company that is half based in Port Hope and half in Edinburgh, Scotland. So, some puppy blankets. I have Waltonwood Farms, pet products. Yes, so originating in Baileyborough. I have some native Millbrook dog treats. Yes.
No, guess we're going in with your puppy.
Bring your puppies, bring your kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Excellent. Any other questions before we wrap up? And one more time, what was your website again?
Livinglocalmarketplace.ca.
Excellent. Alicia, you are a gem of a human being. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You crushed it. You totally crushed it. When I asked somebody to come in and do a talk, it's like, that is quintessentially what I always hope for, is that beautiful storytelling from front to end with the wraparound. It was amazing. I think the part that stood out to me the most was that when you were 6 years old, you dreamed of having your own storefront, and it happened, right? And how many entrepreneurs in this room were little kids when they thought, I want to do this, and it happened. So it's a beautiful thing. We are grateful for the messages that you share. And all of the other businesses that you support through your business. So huge round of applause. I'm just gonna run through some chamber news. So I'm glad you have some things coming down the pipeline. Alicia, that was amazing. Honestly, thank you so much for joining us today, especially in October, right after Thanksgiving, gearing up the holidays. It's a lot, right? And I do want to point out one more thing. So I think, and I'm pretty like 100% sure that I got tipped off to the Living Local Marketplace because of Charlene Westby. I'm sure I thought so. You were like one of the first people that posted. It's like, check out this local box. It's got all this stuff. And I was fascinated, and I'll never ever forget that. So I discovered because of you, Charlena. That's right, super fan Charlena. I do love it. Excellent. So yes, again, thank you, Alicia. We appreciate you. Local first. I love it. That's, you know, I live, breathe, eat it, you know, and it's near and dear to all of our hearts, of course. Anybody before I run chamber news, does anyone have news going on? Microwaves, you have a cybersecurity workshop, I think, coming up.
Yes, we actually have two, because cybercrime has become
Oh,
$1 trillion industry. It's one of the largest and fastest growing industries. Not only do we have a webinar this Thursday, we have an in-person webinar on October 21st. If you're interested in attending either of those, please let me know. For the in-person seminar, we are going to have some notes for screens for people now.
cybercrime is no joke. I always get a lot out of your workshops too. I usually walk away with something to hold on to. Omniworks, what do you got going on? If I answer what's going on, Jack?
Right now, we had Chamber working with people to put their holiday promotion needs. So taking over, working on social media, working on ads for print, and as well as as well as content creation, newsletters, that sort of thing. So we take that off your plate for the holidays and focus on running your own business. So I think interesting to come see.
Well, there's a big load. Tag in the Omniworks team. They can help you out through the holidays. Jennifer Lamontia, does Workforce Development Board have anything going on? Okay.
That's at WD.ca. It's active. So the new release of the Skills Development Fund round 3. If you're looking for local labor market information to support your application, please reach out. It's a free on-demand service, so make sure you don't forget about that on your local. And we actually just released a manufacturing career ladder, so those entry level positions, you know, you'll be out through the ladder and links directly to our local jobs, job postings.
Excellent. Yeah, who said I've definitely sent quite a few people to the local jobs hub. Super happy to see Workforce Development come out with that. It's a fantastic tool for businesses. Anyone else want to share news before we go? Yes.
big event for Nick that's free at Showcase at 7 p.m. Saturday thing. We're doing like a city box night, like a fireside chat. It's 3 of our board members who are like amazing thought leaders in digital information space. They're going to be talking about the actual theme is called living, working in a digital first world, technology and shaping the future. So we're going to be talking about marketing and innovations happening in that space. Well, 6:30 you can register online.
Yeah, tap into that. It's free. The knowledge there, and not only the Electric City talks, which happen in the evening, but they've also got the power breakfast they restarted in the start of this month, right? And really, really great events to plug into. So check out the Innovation Cluster, absolutely. And if we want to shop for candles, Lindsay,
Well, it's not that.
you as well.
I sustainable candles is recyclable candles, maybe ones, and they're all natural, made soy and some ones.
We love a business plug. We have to. Can't bring it up, poke and prod. Jill Reese and Maddie, anything we should know about the Business Advisory Center, people with performance economic development? If you know somebody that has an idea on a napkin, you need to connect them to the Business Advisory Center, please.
Thank you. Started a class, which we heard a little bit about today. We're starting our first workshop on Monday, so those we have direction from the shop. It's going through over the course of 8 weeks. Stay tuned for different instruction points.
Excellent. I'll keep an eye out. I love watching the stories. So many success stories out of that program, right? It's nice to see. We appreciate the work you all do. Absolutely. Excellent. So your chamber news, my friends, sponsorship. So sponsorships available with the Chamber of Commerce. We've got an opportunity with ChamberAM and also the Business Exchange. We've had a couple other ones coming down the pipeline, as well as our Love Local Holidays campaign that's coming out. Chamber members, please tag us on social media. We want to share your content across our platforms. So just tag us, PK Chamber, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. We have a presence there. Tuesday, November the 1st is the next Business Exchange, 4 to 6. We're going to the YMCA. I heard they might open up the pool or do like an aerobics class. This could be fun. So get registered, join us for some November fun on the 1st. ChamberAM, Tuesday, November the 8th, 8 a.m. right here. The Chamber legend himself, Mr. PTVO Kawartha, Stuart Harrison, retires October 31st and is joining us for ChamberAM on November 8th. Don't miss it. He will have some fantastic dad advice for us all. I assure you. So get registered for that. The Business Excellence Awards are here next week, the 19th. Pre-show party starts at the venue, then we roll down showplace. So many categories, living local marketplaces, finalists for local focus. There's a few finalists. So check it out, pkexcellence.ca, take a look at finalists, and we'll announce the winners as well. Love Local Holidays, new this year. We've got a Love Local auction. We're looking to stock it with only Chamber member products. And we also have an online wish list. We're breaking gift items into categories. We're going to promote that for the holidays. So 50 days of promotions. If you want in for local holidays, reach out to me. We can get you connected. Jessica can also take care of you. And that's it. Let's see all. So just other notes we don't need. So thanks so much for coming out this morning. Grab your coffee. Shout out to Brooklyn, the Edison Cafe. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Enjoy. See you soon.